Hi kids, just wanted to give you an overview of some basic calculator skills here. In class today, we graphed 1 half x minus x plus 4. And I just wanted to show you the keystrokes that you can use to generate that graph on your calculator. So let's give it a go. So when you turn your calculator on, we want to open up a new document. Okay, so you're on your home screen here, and a lot of you have been using Scratchpad before. I don't want you to do that anymore. It becomes a nightmare with settings later on. So we're going to use a new document. Okay, and do you want to save? Sometimes if you had one in there before, it asks you this. Do you want to save? No, you don't. Okay, and I am going to, it gives you an option here to open up a calculator, a graph, and on and on. We want a graph. So that is. Okay, just a couple of things that we can handle on your settings here right away. If you go to menu here, go to your settings, and we always want to round our answers to 3 decimals. So we're going to get it to show 4 for us all the time. So if you don't have 4 in there, go down to fix 4 and then make that your default. This stuff we can deal with later when we start to do some trig, but right now it doesn't matter. Okay, and just okay all that, away we go. So let's put in our graph. So we had minus 1 half, and look at this, is a nice little 1 half thing here. Faster to just put negative 0.5 in this case. Okay, and then I want x squared. So you can see the buttons I'm pushing here, and if I'm using my keypad, these are the ones that'll light up red, so you know which buttons I'm pushing. Minus x plus 4. Okay, push enter, and your graph comes up. I'm going to take the label and move it up to the top here, but this is the picture we graphed in class by hand, right? Okay, so we just want to be able to find all the points that we found algebraically before. The nicest way for you guys right now is to go to the menu and to use trace. So here's number 5 is trace, right? And then graph trace. And when you're in that mode, in the trace mode, this little picture is going to show up there. Okay, so if you want to get out of trace, you can just go ahead and push escape, or if you want to get out of anything, you feel like you're kind of locked in a spot with a calculator, push escape, and that gets you out. Okay, but let's try and find it again. I want to use trace, menu, 5, 1, and now I can trace all the points that I want. And the cursor, if you've got the updated software here, as soon as I drag it over something that's interesting, it'll get it to me instantly. So I go and drag across a 0, and look, one of the zeros we found algebraically before was 2 and 0, and there it is. Okay, this little flag pops up, and it sets me out there. So I can graph that one. I can jam across to over here, and there's another 0 at -4, so -2 and 4. And remember, I'm just basically completing points. Okay, I know that the height is going to be 0, and I want to find out where that happens, so at -4. Okay, so let's put that on our graph over here. You can see my kid in the background, he's cute, huh? Okay, so I've got this picture so far where I've got 2 and -4 from my zeros. Those are 2 points on the graph. Okay, and now we want to go find our vertex. So you can drag that one across too, and it finds it instantly. The trace is really nice for this because you can find more than one thing, okay, at a time. All right, so -1 and 4.5 is what we found before also. So here's -1, and up here someplace is 4.5. There's our vertex. Okay, and I think it'll show me the y-intercept at 4 as well. Not that that should be much of an issue for you guys, but if you want to, yeah, there it is. Okay, so we can go and put that on our graph as well. All right, so there's a point at 4 and the y-intercept. So we've got our picture that goes like this. I'm not quite as neat as the computer screen, but the general idea is there, right? And now what other questions did we ask here? We wanted to know what f of 3 was. All right, so again, we're in trace still, and instead of dragging over this and trying to find out, where the height is 3, like it catches me, right? Like I can't get to the right spot to get 3. Okay, I can just type the number 3. Oh, sorry, when f is 3, maybe I can't get down there. It's there. You could do it that way. Okay, 3 goes in and negative 3.5 comes out, or if you're up here someplace and you don't want to drag it all the way across because you don't want to play the game, you can just type the number. 3 goes in, and this little box opens up. You push enter, and down here it'll give you your answer for the value. So at 3, I get negative 3.5. So now we can go put that on our new graph here. So 3 goes in, negative 3.5 came out. Okay, so there was the other piece of information that they requested. And the last one was we wanted to find out the x's. So it's really important that you realize this is a coordinate, right? This is asking when 3 goes in, what's the height that comes out, yeah? Okay, so we did this algebraically in the first unit, but now we're just using the calculator to kind of expedite the process, right? X goes in, Y comes out. Okay, the other type of question that we looked at was when we get a height, okay, or they're giving us a Y. So when the whole function is equal to 4, it looks like I'm going to have the height of 4 should have, oh, we already found the y-intercept, I guess, okay, is going to be in 2 places here, right? Okay, so when we had to factor that before to do it, but now we can just use the calculator. And there's kind of a trick, like this one's a little trickier. We know the 1 y-intercept is 4, kind of got lucky there, okay? But in order to do this, we've got to set our height at 4, so we're going to make another equation, a horizontal line at the height of 4, and then we're going to go and find the intersections, okay? So off of the menu now, we can go to this one that says Analyze Graph, and you have to figure out, you have to kind of remember which menus to go to here. So Analyze Graph has kind of all the cool stuff in it. It's all the stuff that we use for calculating. And then we want to find an intersection, number 4. So I pick one of the intersections, and it's asking me a question down to the bottom left there that says lower bound. That means that they want us to put in an x value that's to the left of the intersection we want to find. So this is the intersection right here, right up at the top there. And I want to go just a little bit to the left of that because that's going to be a lower x than where my intersection is. So I'm going to push enter. Now, it didn't look like anything happened, but if you look in the bottom left there again, the question has changed to upper bound. So now I just want to drag across until I drag across that point. So I'm a little bit to the right of it, and it's going to tell me the intersection. And if you want, you can push return there, and it gives you the point. So -2 and 4. Okay, so that's where that one is. And I'm just going to drag it over here someplace so it's not in our way. Okay, so now I'm going to go look for this intersection here. Okay, we already know it. It's 4. But just so you can see it again. So menu, Analyze Graph, intersection. Okay, so now it's asking me a lower bound. I go a little left to that point. Now upper bound is the question it's asking, so I go a little bit to the right, and bingo, there's my question. Or there's my point. So I'm going to go over here, and I know here now that 0 and 4 was one of my intersections, and so was -2 and 4. Okay, so that answered this question for us. When does f of x equal to 4? In 2 places. At -2 goes in and 4 comes out, and at 0 and 4. All right. So that's kind of a little introduction there, and it'll get you through the easier questions. In class, we'll probably do a couple of tougher things with the window, but you can always come and use this video as your home base. All right, so I hope that helped. Keep calculating. Here we go.